Hey guys, welcome to Dave's Nano Tanks. I thought I'd do a video on how it works. I get some questions about my lighting and filtration, and although I do have videos for both in the build series of the 100-gallon tank, I thought it's been about a year. Let me just sum it up quick in one video. So let's start with lighting. Okay, this tank is lit by 4 T5 bulbs that are 36 inches and 2 Mars Aqua 165 watt black boxes made in China. The schedule is at 10 a.m. the 2 blue actinic T5 bulbs come on. Then at 11 a.m. the blue channel of the Mars Aquas come on at 100%. There's really no ramping up or down on these lights. They are just simply on or off. So then at noon, the white channel of the Mars Aqua comes on, and that is about 30% on the dial. Then from 3 to 5, which is midday in my reef, the 10K T5 bulbs come on. So it's a 2-hour, I call it my high noon setting. And then at 8, the full spectrum channel shuts off on the Mars Aqua. At 9, the blues channel of the Mars Aqua shuts off. And then at 10, the actinic T5s shut off. So you may think that's a 12-hour light period, but that first and last hour is really only blue actinics. So there's not much par. But it has been working. As you can see, I have a very good mixed reef in here. I have everything from acropora to blue clove polyps. So that's a millie right there. I just thought I'd show you around the tank a little bit, just to see the different kind of corals that I'm able to grow. There's a hammer colony. There's actually 2 hammer colonies there. One's getting shaded by the other, so I need to move the small one from below. And there's some little frags. Most of the coral in this tank started as frags. There are a few larger colonies, like that bonsai I bought as a small colony. It's grown a little bit. That purple one there I got from a Fishy Snowman meetup. So let's talk about the filtration. It's a simple overflow box with 2 1-inch pipes going down to my sump. Now notice 2 3/4-inch pipes are also coming down into the same compartment, and they come from the 55 Softy tank. So both tanks are being filtered by this one single sump. Now, I have a lot of agitation from bubbles coming in here. And as you see, I have a very deep pit in here full of rubble rocks, ceramic discs, even frag plugs, whatever I got in there. And there's also some sponges, man-made sponges that are also filled with pineapple sponges growing within them. So it spills over into this one runway right here, and that's mostly dragon's breath and fan worms. You see the fan worm there. Sorry, it's hard to get behind the tank, so I usually don't get back there and clean either. But that's a mixture of being dirty on the outside and those little calcium-coated worm housings that fill up on things. But as you can see, it comes into this one raceway here, and there is no filter floss, no filter socks. I want everything in here to be able to get broken down naturally. And also I'm lazy, so I don't do the whole filter sock thing. So, within this area, we get our first level of filtration. So you can see it here from another angle. It's spilling out over there and coming along the back of the tank. Now when it hits this corner, I've got milk crate just to keep my dragon's breath separated from my chaeto bed. I have a lot of microfauna life living in the refugium, which helps me to break it down. The chaeto is normally below the water level, but you see I have it propped up with the turkey baster, just so you can try and get some light in here and see what's going on. Now, the corrugated plastic is an old trick I learned from Garf, garf.org, and that's a little housing to raise copepods. If you look carefully in this pipe, you'll see a little mysis, a live mysis shrimp running in and out. I bought a couple of those from Fishy Snowman's Meetup, and if you look close at this frag plug, you'll see they have been breeding. There's all kinds of little babies swimming back and forth, along with the big amphipods that seem to rule the chaeto. So basically we're using the chaeto as a mechanical media, and that's picking up most of the debris, detritus, uneaten food, and whatever. And these guys go through it, and this is only what you see on the outside. Believe me, when I harvest some chaeto, they are well within the middle of the chaeto. And here's one of my micro brittle stars. I also have many of them, but it's kind of neat to see them in action, how they work their way through the chaeto. But these guys clean it and break it down. And for some reason, most of my copepods have migrated up to the frag tank. This is the glass in the frag tank. So I don't see them on the glass as much in the fuge, but these guys like to be in the frag tank. But the whole system's connected, and all of them can get to every place. I just think it's kind of interesting that this is the glass in the frag tank. So they're happy there. And I don't have anything in the frag tank as of yet that would eat them. So that's the lighting there. It's just a simple par 38 bulb. I think it's about 42 watts. And here's my doser. I mounted my Jabo doser up onto the stand so the controls are in the front, so it's easy to program. And there's my Reef Octopus Skimmer. I think it's a classic 151. And the skimmer is after the refugium. I want the refugium to be able to break everything down, and then the skimmer can pick up what's left. Also, if there's anything the plants are releasing as far as proteins, the skimmer can also pick those up. And then it spills into the return pump area, and I have a Jabo 1200 running the main system, and I have a Kedsum 700 gallon an hour running the 55 and the frag tank. So here it is. It splits, and some water goes into the frag tank and some goes into the 55. But what drains out of the frag tank goes into this 29 gallon that's below the 55. Now, 29 gallon also helps me add a little more water, and there's a little more water volume, so that's a good thing. And also, by having two tanks hooked up to the 40-gallon sump, it also allows me a little more water when the power goes out, a little more room for the water. So you see it just keeps trickling through this pipe, and this is the one I drilled live when I showed you I was drilling a tank. This is what it does. So, what do I dose? Yeah, come on guys, you gotta ask. I dose the Fritz. This is the Fritz Pro Bulk. Okay, there is 2 parts magnesium that go together, 1 part calcium, and 2 parts alkalinity that go together into one solution. So I also use Kalkwasser. That's what the jug is. So it doses the 2-part all day and the Kalkwasser all night. Once an hour, something gets squirted into this tank. So as far as calc, I just use the, I have some BRS Kalkwasser, and I've just had it forever. So a little goes a long way. It's not the new pharmaceutical stuff, but it's what I have. When this is gone, I'll probably buy some more, and it may then be the pharmaceutical brand. Okay, I talk about this a lot on the stream. This is Reef Plus. Now, Reef Plus is the same thing as Aquavitro Fuel. It's Seachem, and you're probably not going to be able to see the ingredients, but I've compared both bottles in a video, and they are the exact same thing. The only thing is they play a little numbers game with the decimal point. So if you know what you're looking at, it's the same 12 vitamins and the same 12 trace elements and the amino acids. So I dose that, but not by directions. I just spill a little bit in every once in a while. And if I overdid it, I know that because I have to clean my glass the next day. Another thing, by running an ultra low system, I'm able to put all kinds of coral food into the tank. So this is Azox. It's made by Fritz, and it's a liquid coral food that you have to keep refrigerated, and it's got lots of good stuff in it. And then as far as feeding the tank, this is Fritz Genesis, another refrigerated fish food, and it's great for picky eaters. I really don't have any, but I'll squirt some of this in between frozen, or mix it with the frozen while it's thawing, or even if I'm soaking flake food, I'll put some of this in. And this has got fish eggs and all kinds of things that entice fish to eat. And yes, Reefroids, we all know what that is. So I use the Reefroids, and then Paul from Reefing Community Worldwide got me a couple of these. So this is a powdered brine shrimp, similar in consistency to the Reefroids, and the same thing with the rotifers. It's a darker brown powder. So I mix them up, a little concoction of that. That company also makes marine flake food, and it's great. So thanks for watching, and that's it.